How's it going, everybody? It's Young here, and welcome to day 56 of the Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective. Before you proceed, I highly recommend you check out day 57, where I talk about some new information regarding Versus 13's story, setting, and combat system that Tetsuya Nomura, the former director of the game, shared with Japanese games magazine Gamanga sometime in February 2007, information which was later relayed by website IGN through an article released on March 2nd, 2007. In this video, I'll be talking about articles detailing an extended version of the first Versus 13 teaser trailer. But before that, I would like to take a detour and fast forward to a little less than 2 months after IGN released their article on March 2nd, detailing Tetsuya Nomura's interview, which brings us to April 23rd, 2007. On this date, IGN would publish yet another article translating and relaying information from a Japanese gaming outlet, but this time, the interview was with Square Enix's Shinji Hashimoto, who detailed plans the company had for the future of Final Fantasy. Naturally, the topic of the Fabula Nova Crystallis series came up, and here's something interesting he had to say about that. Different from something like XIII, which we expanded upon afterwards, with Fabula Nova Crystallis Final Fantasy XIII, we have thought about an expansive world setting from the start. Under the idea of wanting everyone to be sucked into the world for 10 years, we are preparing a number of categories. IGN then mentioned that Hashimoto likened their approach to films like Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings. This is a pretty funny quote looking back at it now, when it did in fact take 10 years to complete Versus 13, with 3 13 games and Type 0 filling in the gap. And hell, Versus 13 isn't even a part of 13 anymore. It's now its own game called Final Fantasy XV. They were not fucking around when they said 10 years. Anyway, just something I thought was worth sharing. With that out of the way, let's move on to the topic at hand. A little less than a month after the release of this article on April 23rd, Square Enix hosted an event called Square Enix Party 2007 that took place from May 12th to May 13th, 2007, which invited media outlets and the general public to take a sneak peek at some of Square Enix's upcoming games. Among the games that were teased was Final Fantasy Versus 13. During the event, the company showed off an extended version of the first teaser trailer, which only attendees got to see for the first time. Following the event, various media outlets released articles detailing what they saw in the new trailer for those who could not attend the event. This GameSpot article best described the trailer, so I'll go ahead and read their description. The trailer opens with the words, "This is a fantasy based on reality," before cutting to a car moving at high speeds along the freeway in a futuristic city. Riding in the backseat of that car was a spiky-haired, pensive-looking young man, clad completely in black leather. The car he rode in was being accompanied by a pair of cars of the same make and model, but other than the trio, the streets were empty. The trailer then cut to a wide-angle shot of a building that looks a lot like a museum, accompanied by a quote from William Shakespeare: "There is nothing either good or evil, but thinking it makes it so." Inside the building, sitting on a throne of sorts with his eyes closed, is our sullen-looking hero. After a few moments, he notices something is amiss, opens his eyes, and heads outside the building, where we see the building is completely beset by troops looking to do him harm. As he calmly walks down the stairs, a few troops open fire with their automatic rifles, but the bullets harmlessly bounce off an invisible, perhaps telekinetic shield he controls. After he lets them spray some more lead his way, he leaps into the air and summons, around 20 nasty-looking swords out of thin air. Grabbing one, he bull rushes headlong into the crowd of enemies, slashing and slicing his way through the faceless soldiers. At one point, he wedges his sword through a soldier's arm, twisting so that the arm is turned backwards. As the soldier continues to fire his weapon, our hero guides the soldier so that the spray of bullets hits the soldier's surrounding comrades. Perhaps bored with the simplicity of the opposition, our door hero teleports up the steps again when he notices soldiers rappelling down the side of the building. In an instant, he's teleported to the face of the building itself, slicing ropes and stabbing bad guys as he zips and ports from spot to spot, or uses his sword as a spring to hurl himself higher up the side of the building. Back inside the museum, the throne we saw near the beginning is engulfed by magical symbols and bathed in a pure white light. As the main character returns to a seat, we see a robed figure who looks like he's none too happy with our hero's exploits. As the trailer ends, both characters have cast some impressive looking spells as they look to face each other down. If you've been keeping up with Versus 13 news over the past decade, then you may recognize this to be the description of the Dengeki Special Edition trailer that would be released to the public towards the end of 2007. Whereas the first teaser trailer cuts the protagonist's battle against the invading squadron of soldiers short, the Dengeki Special Edition trailer would finally show the character in action, kicking some serious ass. Unfortunately, at this point in time, May 2007, only people who attended the event got to see the extended trailer behind closed doors. Now, something that I noticed is that the article describes a scene towards the end that we never got to see in the Dengeki trailer, whereas the Dengeki trailer fades to black as Noctis heads inside the building before transitioning into a shot of him sitting on the throne. The Square Enix Party 2007 trailer apparently featured an extra scene showing Noctis heading inside and finding a hooded figure engulfing his throne with magical symbols, with the trailer ending as the two train their weapons on one another ready to face off. Another article by Games Radar also had a description for the scene, stating the following: "The trailer ends with a very new part. After the battle, our man heads back into the building. Inside, a white-robed figure is waiting for him. The two prepare to fight and both strike. The white-robed enemy surrounded by the main character's magical swords, while the main character is surrounded by magical figures traced in the air which the white-clad figure cast. It's a standoff, and there it ends." After looking into this, I realized that we actually do get to see this scene in Versus 13's DKS7 13 trailer that would be shown in 2008. Obviously, we didn't know and hadn't seen any of this back in May 2007. By that time, we had only seen the first teaser trailer from December 2006, and now on May 2007, we got our first glimpse at an upcoming extended trailer through articles detailing the Square Enix Party 2007 event. And with how little people knew about Versus 13 at the time, these articles describing the new trailer were very exciting and very much appreciated. While it would be a couple of months before the Dengeki trailer would be made public, fortunately there were a number of other developments to mull over until then, but I'll be talking about those in future episodes of the Final Fantasy XV Countdown Retrospective, so with that, I'll be concluding today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. Share with us in the comments below any memories regarding your anticipation for Versus 13 that you remember from May 2007. And to be further updated on all things Final Fantasy, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.